Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Nightfall master run with Hunter and with togetherness, unfortunately. For my loadout, I'll be using the Arcstrider bottom tree. For my kinetic, I'll be using Will of the Horde with the Corrector Scout Rifle, along with the heavy 7 Serath Soul arc machine gun. Unfortunately, I'll be using the wormhusk exotic with the 10 recovery, grenade launcher ammo finder, machine gun ammo finder. Next, I'll be using the anti-barrier scout rifle, 5 disciplined unstoppable grenade launcher with global reach. For the chest armor, I'll be using double damage resistance. Highly recommend. If you do not put arc resistance, then the boss will destroy you. Next, I'll be using the grenade launcher scavenger, 10 mobility mod, with powerful friends, and the arc mod I'm forced to use so I can have 20 mobility on my hunter. Next, I'll be using breaching clear and the Wrath of the Rasputin. So we're going for this week the Nightfall, the Disgraced with togetherness. So that means we'll be drifting apart, as you can see at the far left side. And I am forced to use a health exotic to regain my health. And I'll be using the wormhusk. And I don't like using it because I can never rely on it, especially on red health. It doesn't give me full health, it just gives me a little chunk of health, trolling me. So here you go, Blitz, that's all you need. Not half of your health. There are 2 barrier champions, and this is the part where I just highly dislike because it is super RNG of where these barrier champions are going to behave. Sometimes they don't like to go all the way from the left side, you can see here. And sometimes they do push towards you, but you will have to kill them very quickly, or they will teleport out of your DPS mode and you'll have to wind up starting all over again, which is not fun and it could be a bit irritating. So now I'm using the power of Will of the Horde with the arc machine gun to do DPS, and of course make a Warmind cell, of course. I managed to kill both of the champions, but another reason why this run was very slow was I kept messing up my super on this run, and I kept forgetting I was on bottom tree, not top tree. So very soon I'll be explaining of what you need to do and what not to do in this video, especially when dealing with these champions. So I did try to do a much more cleaner run, but then I kept dying on little silly deaths. In my hand, my wrist was starting to hurt. So when that happens to you, I don't know if anyone ever had that, where your hand starts burning, your wrist starts burning, then that means you need to put the controller down and not play Destiny for a while, because the farming is a bit overplayed, you know. So now I'm just dealing with a couple of ads, and I'm going to carefully clear them down. Highly recommend you have arc resistance double. I would say double, just put double arc resistance, because there is so much arc and they can melt you pretty quickly. And since we're on togetherness, remember this is togetherness, then it's gonna be a bit irritating because you will have to rely on your health exotic. For Hunter, you have to dodge and regain your health, and it's unreliable because there are times where I'm on red health, I dodge, and you think I'm gonna have half health like right now. Nope, I'm not gonna really have too much of half health. Sometimes it doesn't give me half of the health. As you can see there, I dodged with my wormhusk and it gave me a pretty good chunk of amount of health, which it should do every time consistently when I need health, especially when I'm on red. Sometimes it doesn't work, and you will see very soon that it doesn't work 100%, and that's the part that really throws me off of using the wormhusk. especially for togetherness Nightfalls. Now we're dealing with one more barrier champion up ahead. You can use the power of Little Horde, and with the power arc machine gun, you can also use a rocket as well. But I decided to just go with the arc machine gun since it can make Warmine cells, and I wanted something to clear down ads, especially with the Arknights, since their behavior is almost like Scarlet Keep. If you guys remember how they behave, these Arknights, super aggressive, and you don't want to mess with them, especially for this Nightfall. Now, I'm going to be showing you what not to do. So, for bottom tree, it's always best to not dodge and just go for R1, R1, R2. So as you can see here, don't do what I do. You'll be seeing a lot of this. So I forgot that I was on bottom tree, not top tree. And for top tree, it's always best to dodge and do R1, R1, R2. But for bottom tree, it's a bit different. So to kill champions for bottom tree, you will have to go R1, R1, R2, but no dodge. Unless you're on red health, tiny health, you're panicking, you're dying, then you must run away while dodging for your life. Now in this area, I always try to kill the barrier champion from up ahead. Once I do clear them down, then I take down the Warmine cell and deal with the 3 solar wizards. Now the scout rifle I have has Genesis, which when you do break a anti-barrier shield, you can get your ammo back. So this roll I have is pretty decent, pretty good. I like it, not bad. It's hard to beat, or the hard debate of using the blue scout rifle or the solar scout rifle I'm using right now. Very difficult to think about because the blue one can make Warmine cells, but this one, not really, not so much. Now there are 2 barrier champions, but since there are no sniper anti-barrier, you could kill them with a sniper, but for this season, anti-barrier is auto rifle or scout rifle, so I cannot use a sniper to take the champions down. And if I did, I'd probably be using Cloud Strike, to be honest. I honestly miss that sniper so much. I would use that weapon to take down the barrier champions, but for this season, like I said, no sniper, anti-barrier, only scout rifle, auto rifle. Now you're probably wondering what I'm doing here. I'm shooting the Little Horde. Then I'm swapping to my arc machine gun so I can try to make a Warmine cell while equipping the arc machine gun. Or in other words, the 7 Sephiroth Soul arc machine gun. Jesus. So Little Horde does like to bounce off edges. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. I had a really cool one, but I died on the other run. But you know, this isn't the cleanest run. Honestly, not worth it of farming way too much for a video. So especially when my hand is hurting me, my wrist is hurting me, you know, it's pretty much telling me to stop farming and just take a mini break and then work on a different video. So there are going to be shriekers once you do clear down the 2 knights, the couple of thralls that do push towards you. So you can just stand far away and they won't even shoot you. They'll be super harmless as a fly. But sadly, this will be like your mini break because you will have to be dealing with more champions. And it's not 2 barrier champions, there's actually 4 barrier champions. So there are two from the pillars, which I despise, especially if you do not have a scout rifle for this Nightfall, then this is going to be a big problem without a scout rifle or a bow or a sniper, you know, etc. So you will have to deal with two champions from far away. There is a spot where they won't shoot you, but I got a little impatient. Like I said, there is a specific spot you can stand and they won't shoot you, but I just don't have the patience for this video, well, for this Nightfall, and I just wanted to shoot Will of the Horde and take them down quickly as possible. Now, I would have more patience if I was using a sniper, because when using Will of the Horde, it's really tough to shoot Will of the Horde from far away. So that's where you can see I'm just walking towards the champion, which is very dangerous to do, especially with togetherness on, just to have a good aim so I can deal with the barrier champion, have the breaching clear to be active, and hopefully I can take him down. So you can see I did miss a couple of shots with the Will of the Horde. And I'm trying my best to do a body shot or a floor shot. And I was very lucky because usually sometimes when you do stagger the barrier champion, which happens in Grandmaster by the way, they can just fall off the edge from the pillar and then they just lag spawn on top. So all the DPS you do, you have to start all over again. And it happens so many times, especially if you take too long dealing with these champions. So that's why I always try to kill them very quickly, so they won't fall off from the pillars or the platforms or the boxes, anything you can call them. Now before I do take down the champions, there's gonna be this very stubborn, aggressive knight, which I highly recommend you take down with your fire team. Now you're gonna see another mistake. I thought I was on top tree and I dodged, which you should not do. And I was trying to kill the champion and I messed up. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that. So always not dodge for bottom tree. You can see I'm crying because I am exhausted. You can see I'm very tired in this video. And I really hate togetherness and I hate using wormhusk for togetherness Nightfalls. But I have no choice. I have to use it. It's either that or I have to use fire team medic for hunter. Like Warlock has the easiest. Like if the easiest solo for togetherness, Warlock is gonna be your best friend for this week, okay? Because one, Warlock has the power of the healing rift. You can use that. You can use fire team medic. There's just so much things to do. Even the Titan exotic chestplate is better than the wormhusk. So many options. But you can see I did pick up the Warmind cell to get a shield for around 20 seconds. Then I was getting joint allies, so then I had to pull back because I don't want to spawn all the way from the back. Now there's going to be these two annoying champions and the power of aim assist on console. So yeah, this is like the most frustrating, irritating part that I really hate, especially on console. I'm trying to kill the champion and I'm getting this aim assist. And you're gonna be seeing a lot of irritating. See, you can see there, I'm trying to kill the champion. I would have killed the champion if this aim assist wasn't bothering me. Like, I'm trying to kill this champion, the first one. I could have killed him very, very quickly, much more quicker. But then this aim assist, again, aim assist. Seriously, this is ridiculous. This is so frustrating. You can see there, aim assist again on console. And that's very annoying, trust me. Trust me guys, that is very, very annoying. Now it's a little bit irritating now watching it. I can see that even me watching it is so frustrating, because imagine I'm Grandmaster. So I'm trying to kill the barrier champion on Grandmaster, and it has to be perfect, right? And if the aim assist is going to mess me up, then I'm gonna wind up losing all my ammo for Anarchy and my scout rifle. And then I had to start all over again and waste more time. So anyway, sorry about that. Now I was just trying to see if I can get some ammo. Maybe a little few extra. And then we're gonna make our way to the boss fight. So yeah, you can see it is a bit slow. On my other run, it was around like 12, I would say 11 minutes to the boss fight. But in here, I would say 5 minutes late. But still, we'd managed to get the 100k. And also another reason, because totally forgot that I was using bottom tree, not top tree. But bottom tree is good. And yes, I am gonna get a lot of comments and say, what? No, it's not. Well, it has focused breathing, and when you are in low health, your melee and your ability starts to regain much more quicker, which is good because I can spam wormhusk when I'm on red health, you know. Now this is gonna be the pre-boss fight. Because the reason why I say pre-boss fight is because we're going to be dealing with more champions, and we can't really kill the boss in this area. We had to do some damage, but we can't really kill her or destroy her. Now I was trying to kill this barrier champion, but this other champion from the right side was bothering me. Wouldn't let me kill this specific barrier champion. Now, I think over here I did use my super because he was starting to chase me. So another thing I like to mention is these barrier champions do like to chase you. They are very aggressive and they can be a bit irritating. Now basically I did it again and what not to do. So always do R1, R1, R2 and not dodge. It doesn't really help at all for the bottom tree. So you can see I was like, damn it, I missed again. So yeah, basically throughout this entire video I did not really use my super too well. And I did wanted to make a much more cleaner run, but like I said, my hand was killing me, my wrist was killing me, and it's just not worth it. Like seriously, I'm not a streamer, I'm not a big YouTuber, so I cannot do all these things of spending days or hours and hours when I don't have the time. And oh my goodness, what is wrong with this final boss? So this boss loves to spam a lot of arc. Super aggressive, and this is why I highly recommend you put double arc damage resistance. This part is going to be very annoying. Usually you need to do as much DPS as you can so this boss can make a noise and then move. Now if I was on Night Stalker, I probably would just go invisible and go all the way from the back, and that would be the less stressful way to deal with the champions and with Unstoppable Champion as well. But since we're on Arc Strider, I can't really do that. I mean, I could, but then again, Togetherness is on, so not a good idea. And another thing, as you can see here, this boss moves a lot. So using Will the Horde for this boss fight is going to be a bit frustrating because this boss moves around. He's very, very smart. So when you do try to use Will the Horde, she will try her best. So I mean her best her very best to dodge your Will the Horde attack. Now you can see that this boss melts pretty bad. Now I am using double arc resistance. So imagine if I didn't have arc resistance. Yeah, this would be a wipe. So yeah, it's a bit weird that this boss melts so bad. Even with double arc resistance. Like this boss, well not this boss, but the boss where you saw left. Like her damage is so, like, it's so overpowered. Like imagine in Grandma's, you can't have this boss touch you. And Jesus Christ, it's very, very irritating. But then again, I am under leveled, so I have, and plus my recovery is not like 90. My recovery is not 90 tier, so you know, that could be another reason why I was getting melt pretty fast. Now you can see that there is unstoppable champion. And with the power of the breaching clear, you can melt him pretty easily. Oh, with a grenade launcher, etc. Now I was trying a different loadout, by the way. Now I just remembered what happened. I was trying to use a sky rifle, a different grenade launcher, but it wasn't working out too well because the boss kept moving around, wasting all my special weapon, and I had to switch to a different loadout. And then I decided to just use Will the Horde. Since there are a lot of ads that do push towards you during this Nightfall, and using Will the Horde isn't so bad at all. It's just the boss fight. It's gonna be a bit irritating, but once you do know the pattern of the boss, then the boss will be less frustrating. Another thing I'd like to mention is when you do go to this spot, make sure you clear out all the ads, because there could be ads where they can explode on you when you're trying to do DPS at the boss, well, champion. When you're using Will the Horde, it bounces, you can see there. It bounces off the platform. It's a bit irritating, so always aim at the barrier champion. Then you can do DPS and take him down quickly. So I was happy I had a really nice roll with this scout rifle, especially dealing with this champion. Now there will be 2 more barrier champions. And the 2 barrier champions are going to be the last one. So yay! Finally. So much time wasted. Way too many champions in this Nightfall. So I think in this one I did try to use my super again, but it didn't work out too well. So always remember, always use R1 and R2. Do not dodge when using bottom tree. Right now I'm just trying to kill the barrier champion, and finally I'd be able to kill the last one. So you can see here, I'm just using Will the Horde, switch to Scout or the Arc Machine Gun. Now I didn't want to use my Arc Machine Gun too much because I need to save it, because during the boss fight there is a lot of Arc Knights, and definitely you want to kill them very, very quickly because they are very, very aggressive. Now we are finally at the boss fight. And I decided to save my super for a Pacific phase where I want to clear down a couple of Arc Knights. this boss is from Destiny 1, etc, etc. You know, everyone knows about that. Alright. And this boss is very tanky. So you're probably wondering why this run is 40 minutes. Well, 1, togetherness, 2, the boss is tanky. And it's gonna take a while because I kept missing my Wielded Horde on the boss, unfortunately. And I wasn't doing too well with the DPS. And I had to make sure I clear down all these thralls, all these ads that do spawn, depending how much DPS you do at the boss, by the way. And this arc, well, this boss likes to use a lot of arc and melts you very, very quickly. Now remember this, I am using double arc resistance. And even with double arc resistance, this boss can kill me pretty quickly in a Master Nightfall. Now imagine Grandmaster. Yeah, this is no joke. You wouldn't want to mess with this boss, to be honest. Highly recommend 100 recovery for the Grandmaster mode, which I'll be farming some armor for the hunter because I don't really have really good recovery armor for my hunter, to be honest. Now I was just trying to figure out how to deal with this very tanky boss. Now I was trying to think of a method of trying to do a body shot Wielded Horde at the boss. Then once I do, I can break the shield. And then I can do some DPS. Reason why is because if I do pop the shield from the scout rifle, the boss starts to get very, very active. When you do break the shield, it starts moving away, starts moving a lot and hiding from you. So the shield will be returning back to her, and it's very, very irritating. And then of course you'll miss your Wielded Horde because it keeps moving around, dancing, and it's very, very frustrating. Now I was just doing a specific amount of DPS, and every time you do DPS, depending how much you do, there'll be a mini waves of ads, and I like to just go back from the right side to clear them down. That way they won't destroy me when I try to take down this boss. So yeah, this boss is very tanky and moves a lot. And I'm trying to kill her, but she is very frustrating. So now she's immune, and there's going to be a phase of dealing with a couple of Arcanites. Now this is a good time to actually use your super, and finally I'm able to use this super for once. You know, because so many failed attempts to deal with these champions. So now I use my super. There's still a couple of Arcanites, and they do like to go upstairs to push towards you. It's always best to clear them down as much as you can. The reason why I went up here is because I wanted to use my super. And usually you would just stand at the bottom of the right side to clear down all these Arcanites. So if I was on Night Stalker, let's just say Hunter, then I would be around here. I wouldn't even go up there, to be honest. I would just stay over here, especially on Night Stalker, Hunter, and just spam Wielded Horde, and then just use Arc Machine Gun. For Warlock, the same thing, or you could use your super for stasis, or for Chaos Reach. I think Chaos Reach would be amazing for this Nightfall. But then again, togetherness, I just totally forgot about togetherness. very, very tough decision. And I would say Warlock would be the most easiest for this week. I'm just trying to think right now. So when you do clear down all these ads, then the boss will spawn in the middle. And boy, this is gonna be very fun. So basically, we're going to use Will the Horde and try my best not to get melted by the boss, because she is very, very aggressive. And she moves around, by the way. So you can see I'm doing a bunch of damage at the boss, and all these mini ads spawn, which I need to destroy. You can also shoot it, and you can also collect it if you do have the Pacific mod where you can get an overshield. So now we're back to DPS, and we're gonna have more waves of ads because I did a specific amount of damage. So I'm gonna go back over here, basically to clear them down because they're going to mess up my DPS. So yeah, this is very fun, very slow. This boss fight is very irritating. So now I'm gonna go back and we're gonna do more DPS at the boss. You guys see a pattern here? Yeah, it's very, very dull, but I would say probably the safest strat to do. Unless maybe if I was using maybe a sword to do some DPS, you know. But then again, togetherness, you know, I can't do that. It's very irritating week, to be honest. I really hate togetherness. You know, it kind of ruins the fun. You have to go slow on the Nightfall, and I don't like going too slow, especially for this specific Nightfall, but I have to because this boss melts pretty bad. When I'm on red health, I have to use the wormhusk to regain my health. So now we did a specific amount of health at the boss, and now we're gonna have 2 unstoppable champions spawn, and I like to go to this little mini platform and to take down this unstoppable champion as soon as possible. Now be aware, it's always best to clear down as much ads and clear down the unstoppable champion, because sometimes these acolytes like to throw fire at you, especially around where I'm standing. So that's why I was spamming a lot of Will the Horde on the ground, so I can clear down a couple of these acolytes so they won't throw fire at me at this little room. It happened to me many times when I wasn't being careful. So hilarious, isn't it? Yeah, I know, right? This little object bounced my Will the Horde. Like, I'm not really sure what to say about that. But Jesus Christ, this unstoppable champion is very, very harmless. You can actually just use Will the Horde, and you can just stay back. You don't even need to push towards this unstoppable champion. He'll just stand there, he won't run towards you. Super harmless. Now, since we cleared out all the ads, now we're gonna go back to that Pacific boring pattern. Remember when you saw me doing DPS at the boss? You know, using Will the Horde, breaking the solar shield with the scout rifle. Then I pull back from the left side because there'll be a couple of waves of ads where I have to pop a Will the Horde to the ground and clear them out, and then do the rinse and repeat DPS at the boss. Well, basically I'm gonna be doing that for a couple of minutes, and it's very, very dull, very, very boring, to be honest. And I can't really use my super, because if I try to, then it's not going to be a good idea, because 1, togetherness, 2, I'm not using the exotic chest plate, the radiant flux. I mean, if I was using that, then yeah, this would be much more easier. And we're gonna be doing this very safe method and very slow method because I can't really go aggressive player with this boss when togetherness is on. It could be very, very irritating. So now because I did an amount of DPS, I have to go back on this little mini spot to gather them and take them down. Then once I clear out all these ads, you know, pick up a bit of ammo, then I go back and do more DPS at the boss. Yes, I know, this is, bear with me, this is the safest strat. Of course there is another way, you could just snipe him, but you know, like I said, there is no anti-barrier sniper for this season. Now I have to go back, pop a will of the horde. Jesus Christ. Super irritating. Like, imagine if I wasn't using war myself. Like, Jesus Christ, this would be another nightmare I would have to deal with. So this boss, like I said, loves to dodge my attack. I'm trying to use the scout rifle. It can be a bit irritating. So now I was just being a little reckless because I heard a noise, right? And I thought she was gonna spawn to the other platform. So yeah, if you hear a noise, especially this part, she's still gonna be in that little area, so be careful. This boss loves to troll you. So make sure this boss teleports, because this boss can trick you thinking that you did enough DPS for the boss to teleport from the left side. So you can see here, she finally teleported from the other side. And now I was just trying to debate of how am I going to deal with these ads and these Arknights. So I decided to use my super and I panic attack over here. I was trying to kill this Arknight, but then I was on dread. Like, Jesus Christ, Blitz, kill the Arknight. But then I saw these frantics, these explodey glowy guys, and I did not want to use my Arcstrider to deal with them, because if I did try to kill these cursed thralls, right, then I'm going to get killed, destroyed by them, and it will be a wipe, and then it'll be a waste of 30 seconds, well, 36 minutes of my life. Now this Arknight was being very stubborn. It was going under the platform. You can just use any arc weapons, I would say heavy to be honest, and you can clear him down. So now there'll be a little bit more, a couple waves of ads, and once you clear down the ads, then you can do DPS the boss. Now just to let everyone know, there are 2 phases. So this is the first phase, right? And then there's going to be another phase where you actually have to do, well, you actually have to deal with more Arknights and more cursed thralls. So thankfully these cursed thralls are gentlemen. They actually go up to the stairs. They're not going to jump on left and right. You could just stand here and clear them down. So not so bad, you know? Now we're actually going to do some DPS at the boss. Now this boss was being super crazy. Like, she was going loca. Like, seriously, like this boss was moving so much. I was trying to do Will the Horde, and this boss would not let me do a body shot. So yeah, as you can see, this boss was floating in the air. Like, seriously, calm down. This boss needs to calm down. Yeah, I have never seen this boss behave like this. Like, Like, usually this boss flows around, but not on top of the ceiling, as you saw there. It's supposed to usually hide behind that pillar over there, but not float around close to the ceiling to destroy me and spam the arc attack. So yeah, you can see this is very, very irritating when using Will of the Horde. But like I said, once you know the pattern of the boss, it's been a long time since I done this Nightfall. And once you know the pattern, then this boss is not going to be very frustrating. Of course, right now you can see this footage. It is a bit frustrating because of, togetherness. So you can see here, this boss is supposed to behave like this. She is not supposed to flow around near the ceiling and start shooting while in the air. Way too high. It's supposed to be at this area right now, as you can see. And then you can just spam Will of the Horde. And of course, this is the last wave of ads. So during the last wave of ads, there's going to be the last couple of Arknights. You can go on this top platform, and these cursed thralls will be a gentleman, and they'll go up to the stairs. And another thing I like to mention is these Arknights sometimes can go upstairs, so be aware that they can push towards you and go upstairs. I'm trying to remember if they did this in this footage, and unfortunately they didn't, and I wish they did. So I can show the example of what they do. So if they don't go upstairs, then they're going to shoot from the far left to the right. And you can see here, there you go guys. So these Arknights can actually go upstairs and they can push towards you. So always be aware, especially on this phase. Because I remember when I was doing a Grandmaster, when my whole fire team died, I was spamming Arc Machine Gun, especially when they were going upstairs on that Pacific platform where I was before. Now since we dealt with the final phase, I got impatient and I just wanted to take down this boss. Like, this boss was so irritating. I didn't want to use my super. I didn't think it was safe unless I was Night Stalker. Yeah, okay, I would use my super now, but did not want to use it. Just want to spam the arc machine gun, and then I finally took him down. So woo, 40 minutes of my life. Like I said, it could have been better. I had a very, very clean run on my other run, but I died. I want to work on another video, and it's gonna take me like 2 days. So, like, it's a big maybe if it's gonna work. I don't know, but I have to go on Warlock for that run. I cannot go on Titan and Hunter. It's a job for a Warlock for the next video if I get it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.